What's up, everybody? It's your dude, Ryan. So, after being told countless times that I'm so funny and interesting to talk to, and I should start a YouTube channel. Just kidding, I've only been told that like twice. But nevertheless, it made me hopeful enough that strangers on the internet might like me. So, you know, I decided to actually start a YouTube channel. So, here we go, everybody. So for my first video, I don't know if you can even see this book, but for my first video, I thought I would make a video talking about a book series that I'm reading right now. It's called Artemis, Fowl. Right now I'm only on the second book, so please no spoilers in the comments if multiple people actually watch this video. But it's very exciting. It's actually a really good book series, and after I watched the first one, hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan the editor here to tell you that was supposed to say after I read the first one, not after I watched the first one. My parents and I watched the movie. It was terrible. Don't watch it. I give it like a -5 out of 10. But I thought I would talk about the flaws in the movie and also recast the movie if I were to do it. So the scene opened, and actually I watched a really good video by another YouTuber. I can't remember his name. It was sent to me. Thanks, Gavin, if you're watching this. It was sent to me, and I watched it. It was half an hour long, basically about how terrible the Artemis Fowl movie was and why. It was actually, like, really, really good. He did a really good job of, like, explaining why it was so trashy and terrible. Basically, the common ground is this movie was shot, and then it was reshot. And everyone was like, reshot? Like, reshoots? What the heck? And they were like, yeah. So they like made the movie and then like reshot it. I've actually seen the deleted first scene, and it's actually like the first scene in the first book. And it made me so angry because like the movie was made and it was actually good. And then they were like no, 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 no. No, no, no. We're gonna reshoot this and make it terrible. And I was like, I shouldn't do that, that's a library book. But I was like, y'all really serious? Like, y'all made this great movie of a really well-known and really good, well, I don't know if it's well-known, but a really, really good book series, and y'all trashed it. It made me so angry. So they like totally reshot like the first scene, and I was like the original first scene, I was like, whoa, that's actually really good. The first scene in the new movie was like, it's like the first scene in the second book. And I was like, do they really cram the entire series into one movie? I was super angry. Like, they changed like the whole plot of the first book. So if you haven't read the books and you plan on doing this and you don't really want to know the plot of the first one, click past. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get really into detail. So basically, like in the first book, this kid, Artemis Fowl, his dad has totally like disappeared. Criminal, went on a boat, blown up, gone, dead. The dad is presumed dead, legally dead. So this kid, Artemis Fowl, with his bodyguard Butler, he's pretty awesome. I really like Butler. His bodyguard Butler hatch a plan to restore the family fortune. Well, it's mainly Artemis. So the opening scene of the book is Artemis and Butler in Vietnam with this man who's leading them to a sprite to steal a copy of the fairy book. The book is like the fairy Bible. It's written in Nomish. Artemis gets the book, like totally like uploads it to the cloud, whatever, translates it, does everything, has this book. And it switches like perspectives to this leprechaun. Ah ha 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 ha, we love the jokes. Basically the fairy police. And the fairies live down under the earth's surface. They were chased out by mudmen or humans. And basically, so these like fairies are chilling down there, and it follows Captain Holly Short, who's like the first female officer of the LEP, and her commander Root. He gets the name after being called Beetroot because he's constantly angry and very, very flushed. And honestly, mood. Ryan the editor again. You'll notice I start off with like she. I'm basically switching back to Holly's perspective, so the tea. It gets a little bit wonky here, so try to understand what I mean. Sorry. She's like almost totally like fired, which is not good, but we love her anyway. Fairies have this thing called a ritual where they have to like take a seed from the earth, put it into the ground, say some stuff, and then they like refill their magic. It's pretty cool actually, and I would love to do it. And the way they describe it is like super cool in the book. It's like, you know, like sparks and it sounds super fun, like in my opinion. Like I think it would, and even Holly says, she's like, oh, I forgot how good running hot can feel. And I'm like, I want to run hot, instead I'm always tired. Holly like goes above ground, stuff happens, and like that's the tea. I'm not gonna give it all away, so if you haven't read the books and are still watching this video, you can still read the books, get a lot out of it. Because, oopsie, I don't want to give away too much spoilers, even though I'm totally gonna give away a lot of spoilers, because you need to understand. So they like do all that, and then Artemis and Butler capture Holly while she's completing the ritual, and Holly's like, well, crap. And Artemis basically like holds her for ransom, you know, takes all of her LEP gadgetry. They like totally like use it. Like Butler has an epic smackdown with a squadron of fairies. It's super cool. There's this centaur, his name's Foley. He's like the tech wizard of the fairy world. He's super cool. We love Foley. And it's basically the story of her getting like uncaptured. There's also some side characters like Mulch Diggums, who's a dwarf that they bring in to help tunnel under like Artemis's house. There's a troll incident where Holly saves Butler, Butler vanquishes the troll. It's a whole thing. It's actually a really good scene, and it's super cool, and it ends really well. Well, not really well, but it ends pretty okay. But then you get to the movie, and it's really weird. Like the opening thing is it's a narration of like the CIA capturing Mulch, and it's like, and it's played by Josh Gad, and he's a giant dwarf. And I'm like, y'all really had all this CGI to make like the entire Lion King movie, also to badly CGI cats and give the actors CGI buttholes in the original like thing, but you couldn't shrink Josh Gad? I don't believe you. So like, it opens there, and Mulch Diggums is like the narrator, which I agree they needed a narrator, but it shouldn't have been Mulch Diggums. But yeah, it opened with like the scene in St. Bartleby's that like opens the second book, which is like really, really weird. His mom isn't anywhere. Like that's a whole side plot in the book. His mom is not mentally well or stable. She like totally is like a delusional. She has like hallucinations and stuff. And it's like totally not good. And Artemis is like, ugh. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But like, it's important to see in the book. But his mom, like, apparently was, like, cast in the movie and then just never appeared. Same with the poor actress who played the sprite that's, like, not in the movie anymore, which sucks. And I was like, Also, because I think they actually got a Vietnamese actress. Don't quote me on that. I don't know her nationality. I haven't looked it up. But it, like, allegedly takes place in Vietnam, the opening scene, and that's why I was like, wow, that's really cool if they got like a Vietnamese actress to play that role. Like, it would be like such a good thing, you know? Also, the dad's there, which I'm like, excuse me? Oh my god, I forget who the dad's played by, but like the dad's there, and Artemis is like actually like goes outside, and like the opening scene is him like surfing, which first of all, Fowl Manor is totally like not by water. Secondly, Artemis hates physical activity. You find that out especially in the second book. He like hates all forms of physical activity, and he's like, physical activity. Like he's like me, I hate physical activity. Then why the heck is the movie depicting you surfing? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So after that happens, it opens with the scene like St. Bartleby's and stuff. And like they did a good job being like, oh, he's smart, but he like isn't a criminal like at all. And I'm like, excuse me, like the whole point is he's like a criminal. It's a criminal mastermind. The back of the book says the world's youngest, brightest, and most dangerous criminal mastermind is back. Where's the criminal? And basically, like, it's so stupid. Also, Judi Dench plays Commander Root, and Commander Root is a woman. And I'm like... There's also plenty of female LEP officers, as you can see if you look in the background. Oi. Like, I'm all for, like, totally, like, smashing sexism and all that, but when it's the point of the movie, like when it's the point of the book, when part of the point of the book is sexism, like you can't. Also, like Holly's like not a real LEP officer. Also, the actress is kind of terrible. Like if you're the actress and you're watching this video, I'm so sorry, and I hope you were paid handsomely for that, but you kind of sucked. Like you can't look at your performance and say that wasn't flat. Like, please. Like, some of the stuff they did really well. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but some of the stuff they did really well. Oh, I have to give them props for actually showing Mulch Jacobs' jaw unhinging and the dirt passing through the dwarf system and out. Like, I know it's pretty nasty, but I have to give them props for it. So that earns them like 1 star. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't even earn them 1 star. It earns them like a 1/4 star. Like, it's such a minute part, but like, if they didn't have that, I would have been like, excuse me, sir. Yeah, like the dad's the one who does like all this research on fairies and stuff. And Artemis is like, what's a fairy? And I'm like, dude, excuse me. Also, Butler's like a super wimp in that movie. Like, dude, in the book, he's like, yeah, I've had like 80,000 bajillion years of like super rad army training. And I'm like, this is the guy who's like super like soldier, like he's super buff, he's super like, oh my god, he's like protective, he's like everything. And in the movie he was just like a wimpy side character, and I was like, also they say he has a niece named Juliet where it's his kid's sister, and she's 16 in the book, she was 12 in the movie, and I was like, excuse me? That's just a few of the problems. Also, some of the camera angles and stuff during like the battles and stuff was weird. Basically, they rushed to the climax. Also, the villain was Opal Cowboy, who's not a villain till like she comes into play in the second book, but it really comes to a head in book 4, the Opal Deception. So the whole point of the name is the Opal Deception. Opal Cowboy, the Opal Deception. Come on, guys. And it was so weird, because Opal Cowboy isn't even mentioned in the first book. And all of a sudden, she's like the villain. So weird. And basically, his dad's like, first of all, he's there, which is weird. Then he like goes missing, is like presumed dead, all that. But then the whole thing is to rescue his dad. Also, there's something called the Aculos, which I heard the mega rumor, like through the video that I mentioned earlier, like the Aculos wasn't supposed to be a major part of the movie at all until the reshoots. Because of something called, I want to say ADR, basically where they edited voice, and like, I think it's 20 out of the 25 times the Aculos is mentioned in the movie, before the part where you see the Aculos is where, like, you don't see the actor's face, so it can easily be edited in. It was super mind-blowing. I was like, the Aculos wasn't even supposed to, like, hardly be there. Like, I was so shook. Oh my god, it was just so bad. But yeah, it was so not. I'm gonna save it in case you actually want to watch the movie and waste 3 hours of your life. It's not that long. It's like an hour and a half. But if you want to waste that time, I highly suggest you watch it. Like, if you have nothing better to do, like, you want to, like, kvetch and moan, like, I would suggest doing it. But I would highly suggest reading the book series. It's a really, really good book series so far. And I think it just is a good book series. Anyway, time for the second part of this video, even though that was really, really long. I'm so sorry. Anyway, the second part is I was going to recast some of the roles in the movie because people sucked. Okay, so first I'm going to recast Butler. Okay, so Butler is portrayed like this in the movie. And this actor seemed, I kind of had some high hopes, but he was not the tea. So I think Butler should be played by Samuel L. Jackson. Okay, just like everything about Samuel L. Jackson and everything about Butler. Like, okay, I know Butler's not very loud, and Samuel L. Jackson, I wouldn't say he's super loud, but like, you know, he's Samuel L. Jackson. But I really think Samuel L. Jackson should play Butler. Really. Also, Kristen Chenoweth should definitely be Holly. She'd be better than whoever, like, kid actor they made play Holly. Like, she's short, so you don't really have to CGI her to be short. She's kind of annoying. Kristen, I love you so much. So if you're actually watching this video, which I know you won't, I love you. But anyway, she's totally, like, the type. And also, she's kind of smart and very persistent. And, like, she'd be a really good Holly. Like, you can't tell me she wouldn't be an amazing Holly. Like, literally. Okay, so I don't really have, like, anyone else that I would, like, fake cast in this. But I want to play Artemis. Like, is that too much to ask? Hollywood, hit me up. I want to play Artemis in the remake. I think I'd be a lot better. I'm smart. I'm also small. Yeah. Cast me as Artemis, Hollywood. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video, everybody. I'll probably make another this week because I have nothing better to do, and also I'm pretty good at this stuff. So anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a lovely day. Do something self-care. That was a terrible winky thing, sign off. But anyway, I'm signing off. Bye, everybody. Hope you have an amazing day.